Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shah, by Hashem HaKodash. Say double honors to our apostles and elders. Very great millstone, peace and blessings to the Lord's hopefully elect. So we just wrapped up camp and we brought out a perfect scripture that really just goes against what these guys have done here. This is Car San Diego sitting down with the devil Haman, also known as Vocab Malone, which the real name is John Mark Reiser. He said that his father's from Germany, which leads me to believe that he is from the seed of Amalek, which was the Edomite, in particular Amalek. And according to the scriptures, Haman the Agagite was also an Amalekite. So man's just back in his lot in the reincarnation, fuel for hatred for the Israelites. And he's out to set a snare to ultimately in the end send us to the gallows as he did before, or attempted to do before, and Lord willing in likewise manner, as the scripture says, made a snare that he set for us, may he fall upon it as he did before. In doing so, with that said, according to the scriptures talk about how we as the Israelites are to build wisely upon the temple, and we are to have the ministry be blameless and giving no offense in anything. And this sitting down with the devil, this was an offense to the ministry, because it's unwise. You have no scripture to justify doing what you did, because even in the opening video, you said that you believe that he's going to go into slavery. So you believe that he is an Edomite. You believe that he is going to go to slavery. So there was no reason at all for you to sit down with him, unless you're just trying to feel important and you're trying to gain a name for yourself. But clearly you don't read the scriptures, because all those men who ever tried to do that and steer off course and go off script were they earned the ill name and they failed. All right. Now the scripture we read, which I was quoting it wrong, because I was saying disassemblers, but really King David was saying a dissembler, right? So I said that wrong if you were listening to the camp. But this is what King David said in Psalms 26. It says, Psalm of David says, "Judge me, O Lord Yahweh, for I have walked in mine integrity. I have trusted also in the Lord Yahweh. Therefore I shall not slide. Examine me, O Lord Yahweh, and prove me. Try my reins and my heart. For thy loving kindness is before mine eyes. I have walked in thy truth." And as it says at the top here, it says a protestation of integrity and prayer for protection. Right? This is King David praying to the Lord and said, "Lord, I have kept my integrity." And here's part of the integrity that he kept, as verse 4 says, "I have not sat with vain persons, neither will I go in with dissemblers." So this is what makes King David one of his character traits, is that he had integrity. He didn't sit down with vain persons, meaning he didn't befriend vain persons or dissemblers. Now I thought it said dissemblers, but it all ties in, because the word dissemble, let's get the Hebrew first. It means to conceal. Hebrew word ilam. It says to conceal, to hide, right? A dissembler, to hide oneself. And in the other translation, it'll say hypocrite. So if you Google dissemble, it says to conceal one's true motives, feelings, or beliefs. So basically, snake. So King David said, "I have not sat down with vain persons, neither will I go in with dissemblers," or hypocrites, or snakes, because a hypocrite is an actor. So all those is, and heck, vocab as well, a disassembler is another word that can be associated with them, because he's trying to disassemble our building. Okay, so this is what King David said. In verse 5, he said, I have hated the congregation of evildoers, and will not sit with the wicked. And this is exactly what these guys are doing. You literally sat with the wicked, shaking their hand. So you're doing the opposite of what the men of the Lord, the men in the scriptures would do. This is exactly what they would not do. Yahweh Shah would not do this. So this is just more proof that these guys are self-willed, whether they have their own agendas, whatever it is, it's the will of man. It's not the will of the Most High, Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shah. it would behoove you really to just stay away from those guys. And I'll tell you another story. Okay, we don't want to talk. We have no fellowship with the Sakari in any way. All right, GMS have always had that stance of we believe that Paul is an apostle. We follow his writings. We cannot stand together with an Israelite group that teach contrary to what we teach. And we made it very clear that we don't do unity camps with camps that aren't on the same page, because we're not unity. It's hypocrisy. Now, trying to come around Great Millstone camps, putting up videos talking about some brotherhood over breakdown or something like that, that was their own will. We did not endorse that. We did not condone that at all. Okay, we don't know what they're doing. It's fishy. We ain't got nothing to do with them. All right. So I'll tell you a story. A few months back, really early in the year, we actually had some Sakari members from California. I believe they said over there, LA, Northern Kingdom brothers. They came down. It was like 3 or 4 of them, at least 3 of them. And they came back down, on them little scooters to say shalom. Now, at the very same time, this guy crossed the street and he started throwing a ruckus, right? So while they said shalom, we said shalom, but at the same time, this Jake just comes over here, okay? This unknown spirit comes and just start making a fuss. So we're like, hey, bro, you need to calm down, chill out. He had the appearance that he was intoxicated, right? Getting all in the camera and stuff. So our focus, just like my focus, because I was behind the camera, was to go talk to the brother. Hey, man, chill out. Calm down. And even the brother that was speaking, he even looked at the minister car. He's like, yeah, hey, what's up? But you see, we dealing with a demon right now, right? And, long story short, by the time that was over, right, the very next day, that's when it hit me, because the next day, that's when brothers had did like a rebuke video to something else wild. They said I believe it had something to do with the temple, whatever. It was one of those things, right? So the information was spreading, and then that's when it hit me. I was like, these guys again going off on the doctrine. Then I thought about it. I said, didn't some man come down? Yeah, some man did come down to the camp yesterday. I wonder what happened. And that's when it hit me. As soon as those brothers came down, the men from the Sakari, to greet us, because they actually lingered for a minute. Like, they actually was wanting to chat and politic for a minute. As soon as they came down to say, hey, shalom, we from the Sakari camp, this guy, okay, this spirit, because that's what I'm gonna call him, okay, just magically he just appears out of nowhere, crosses the street just to throw a ruckus, right? And it didn't hit me, but our focus was so on him, because I'm trying to get him to calm down or whatever, that it hit me. I said, those men did kind of hang around a little bit. Now I think about it, I know what the Lord did. He blocked that whole encounter. You see, because once those guys left, once those Sakari men left, he left. Because I remember just sitting there marveling, like, man, what the hell was that? What is this Jake? He just came out of nowhere, literally. I said that, in my head. But that was the Lord blocking that encounter. Whatever it was going to happen, whether it was going to be peaceful, whatever it was, the Lord didn't want it to happen, so he blocked it. And I just said, wow, that's the spirit. And I told the brothers that when we met up for camp, because brothers was talking about it. Like, yeah, that dude Jake that pulled up, that dude's crazy. I said, no, wait a sec. I said, the Lord sent that guy. He was sent to block that encounter. As soon as those men ran up, this guy came up. Whatever it was, the Lord didn't want it to happen. And then now here we are, fast forward. Now I see why the Lord did that. You see, so the spirit is moving out here, and we keeping the watch, we keeping the eye, but this is the Lord making that separation. Okay, so no, we have no affiliations of dealings at all with this group here. Okay, so with that, shalom.